I'm Ken Canion, the host of Love, Lust, and Lies, and on today's show, we're going to talk about how women try to control men and stop trying to control him because it's a mistake. So, a woman says, I want a guy that's assertive. I want a guy that's got a backbone who can take charge. And then, when you say you want that guy, the guy comes along, and then you decide you don't really like that guy. Now you try to take charge. Now you try to do things that is contradictory to the things that you're saying you want. So you say, I want a guy, I want a man to be a man, I want a man to stand up, but yet you have the masculine energy you have, that masculine energy that wants to take, that masculine energy wants to overtake his energy. And you wonder why he won't hang around. And so what I told my man, and I'm going to tell you today, let me tell you what happens when you try to control a man. There are three things that happen. Now, initially, then I'm going to tell you what you want to accomplish when you try to control them. But let me tell you that first, before I tell you what happens. The reason why women try to control men is, number one, they have a need for certainty. And see, the number one need, one of the top three needs for human beings is a need for certainty. You need to be certain about your life, and you need security. And so what happens is, when you want to be certain, you want to be able to predict your future. You want to know what's going to happen. You want to know how he's going to react in certain situations. Yeah, why do you think we stay on a job that we know we shouldn't stay on? It's because it's certain. We know we're going to get the check every month. Every week or whatever. The peanut's still in my throat, y'all. Sorry about that. But anyway, so the need for certainty is so powerful, y'all. We'll do anything to make sure we have it. So what happens is we want to control people's outcomes, results. And when we want to control the outcomes, what happens is we'll do things that we think is manipulating the outcome. And so women will do things to manipulate the outcome because they feel like if I can manipulate the outcome, I can get certainty. I can get security. I can predict the outcome because there is a need in us for certainty. We have to know what our future is. That's why we don't like to change, y'all. We need to know how people are going to act. We don't want to introduce things that are uncertain in our lives. Okay? So that's what happens. And so now you want to control the outcome of the relationship. There are a lot of women out there who are controlling, but they don't want to appear controlling. They don't want to. So what they do is they give an illusion like they're not controlling. And y'all, I'm not saying that. I just want you to recognize it. And tomorrow, again, I'm going to talk about how men do the same thing. But let me tell you what happens. You want to control him because you feel like if I can control the situation, if I can tell him what time to text me, if I can make sure that he calls me when he gets off work, then I know for certain he's not cheating on me. If I can get him to do this, I know this. And the truth is, there is no certainty in life. But what happens is you begin to control people. What happens is there are three things when a woman tries to control a man. And if you've ever been in this situation, you will understand what happens. Thank you. I just need this water. Appreciate that. So here's what happens when you try to control a man. Number one, he will withdraw from you. He'll withdraw from you. So you try to control him, and all of a sudden, he feels like something isn't right. I can't be myself. I can't be myself. And so he'll start to withdraw from you. Okay? Then the second thing that happens is he will begin to resent you. He'll begin to resent you. He'll start saying, I can't even be myself. I can't go out. I can't do this without you wanting me to do this and this. I can't be myself. And when a person can't be themselves, they feel restrained and all of these things. And so he begins to resent you. And the third thing that happens is when a man feels like you're trying to control him, he will run from you. He'll run from you. Now, you might think, I'm not trying to control him. But the truth is you are. What you're trying to do is manipulate his behavior for a particular outcome, aka also known as control. All right? So if I do this, I am orchestrating a particular outcome. Now, what I'm going to talk about is what women do to get control and how they do it. But let me tell you what happens when they don't get it. You ever notice how when a control freak doesn't get control, it comes out in anger. A lot of times it comes out in anger, frustration. Oh, you don't want to do what I say. You don't love me, or what you screw messing with somebody else. What do you do? So, what are you doing? You mess with old girl over there. You getting that, right? That's how it shows itself, because they cannot dictate the outcome of the situation. They don't see it as controlling, but you're trying to dictate the outcome. But the truth is there's an issue. There's a deeper issue here. And the deeper issue is this. You feel insecure when you don't control the person. Ooh, now we starting to get crunk. We starting to get crunk in here. So, that being said, so let me tell you, if you're doing these things I'm about to tell you, stop that shit. Stop it, because what you're doing is you're making a man withdraw. You're making him want to run away. And you see it as, I'm just being myself. And I understand you being yourself, but being yourself doesn't mean you control somebody else's behavior. Being yourself doesn't mean, because somebody says, well, Ken, what if I have standards? You should have standards. But making a person text you at a certain time as soon as they get off, that's not a standard. That is a directive. That is a demand. That is you controlling the other person. That is not a standard. Okay? Yo, we got to stop it. Yeah, you're right. Stop that shit. See what? That's what I'm saying. And so now let me get into what it looks like when you control it. And if you've done this, stop it, y'all. Because what you're doing, the very thing that you desire, you are not getting it. You're not going to get it. It's antithetical to the thing you want. You feel me? It is the opposite of what you're going to get. So let me run into how women try to control men. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about how men try to control women. All right, so let's get into it. Now, and I wrote these down. The first way women try to control men is making him need you by doing everything. Okay? So the first thing is, you ever notice how, ladies, you feel like if I do everything for him, if I'm that ride or die chick, I'm the one, I'm picking up your kids. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm going to do this for you. You need to borrow some money? Okay, fine. I got you. But the truth is, some of the times you're doing it because you want him to believe you the right, but sometimes you want to control him. You want him to need you. Want him to need you, but the reality is what you're doing is creating codependency. And when you create codependency, it's not that now he doesn't see you as a person, as that ride or die chick. What he sees you as a person who okay, all right, so you're going to be that. Now you're more like his mother than his partner. More like his mother. He doesn't need another mother. He needs a partner. He needs somebody he can rock with. Look, y'all, sometimes you got to be like, look, I will facilitate, I will support you, but you got to do this yourself. I can't do that resume for you, okay? I can't. You got to do it. I can direct you to the website. You go on the website. Now, if he can't do it on the website, maybe you go over there and direct it with him, but you cannot do it for him. But a lot of ladies do it because you want to control the outcome. The more you're needed, the more he needs you. The more you become indispensable. Okay. Number two, the way you control him is you make him comply to your demands or your directives. Number two. So here's what happens. You think in your mind, okay, he can't cheat on me if he called me right after he get off work. It's when he doesn't call me and, he might be cheating. So what you do is you say, okay, call me right before you go to bed. Let's talk for an hour. And in your twisted mind, you believe that if he talks to me for an hour, he can't be cheating. But the truth of the matter is, if he wanted to cheat, he could be calling old girl right after he get off the phone with you. He's like, yo, I'm done with that. Let me go get that. You see what I'm saying? Let me go get that. And so what you do is you think if he complies with my directives or my demands, then I can control this situation. I can control the outcome. And so you say, text me now. Call me as soon as you get home. Look, it don't take but 15 minutes to get home. So what you doing now? And so what you're doing, all you're trying to do is soothe your inner insecurity. And so what I'm saying is stop that, because what happens ultimately, he will withdraw and then he will run and then he'll resent you too in the process. All right. Number 3 ways women control it. Because if you're doing this, y'all stop this. I know it's part of your insecurity because you need it. Remember, I told you what your need. Your need is a need for certainty, a need for security, and it gives you security when he calls you right after work. And that's false security because you cheat. A man doesn't cheat because he chooses not to. Okay? If you're with a man that's cheating, it's not because he ain't not cheating because he calling you 15 minutes later. That's not why he's not cheating. A man doesn't cheat. If a man that doesn't cheat because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He feels you're more valuable than the cheating. Y'all think I don't have opportunities? You know, people come on to me. I'm still smooth now. You feel me? But I choose. It's my choice. It's not because my wife checking my pager, checking my social media. Because the truth is, if you want to hide it, listen. Here's the reality. The reality is, if you want to hide anything, they got apps out there. They got vaults on it. I don't have a vault, but I'm at the cigar bar and cats talking about vaults. I said, what the hell is a vault? A vault is where you hide naked pictures and hide textures that you don't want. Because so if he wanted to hide it, he can hide it. It's not because you are doing making this demand or directives that you're not getting the outcome. And so you're worried about the outcome. You're just doing it because you want certainty in your life. And that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. So stop it. Number 3. The third reason, now this is going to be deep right here. The third way women control men is they criticize him. They'll criticize the man or something about the man to make themselves seem bigger, larger, more worthy. Let me get you this. So my man is fixing up his new place, right? So he's got a dope place. I've seen the pictures and he's got some unique things in there. And he got a projector, and she's like, well, why do you have a projector? Oh, this ugly furniture, all these colors don't match. Now, my man is artistic, and the colors he got are dope to me. I love them. Y'all know, y'all see my colors back here? I love colors, right? And so what she does is, it's called negging. It's called negging. And so what she does is she will criticize him or something about him to make herself seem bigger. And what happens, the reason why that's controlling is because now a person with a weaker mind feels like I've got to do something to make you happy. I've got to do something to make you feel good about me. But the person who's secure about themselves, I don't give a damn what you think about me. I like my colors. And so it's a form of control. So she told him the other day, she texted him like, yeah, you and the other girls, remember I told you she was talking about the other girl, you and the other girls, and he wasn't even dating other girls, but you and your ugly furniture, you and your ugly setup. And he asked me, I said, what it is she cannot control you anymore. So that control is coming out in insults and anger. I said, that's what it is. And he was like, damn. Man, I didn't get it. I said, but I see it so clearly. When a control freak can no longer control you, right? That lack of control comes out in anger, frustration, insults, all of these things. You just have to know what you're looking at. You just have to know what you're looking at. So when a person's trying to knock you down to make themselves look better, it's a reason they want to control you. Number 4, how women control men. I told my man this. Sex. See, here's the thing about sex. Sex is a primal need. We are sexual beings. You know, most human beings, and God made it that way so that we could procreate. But if you are controlling someone, and I want you to think about it, a lot of people don't do this consciously, but they unconsciously, that's why I always say take sex out of the mix. Take sex, and especially early in a relationship, take sex out of the mix. Because what happens is the female will use sex to control you, and the man uses sex to control you too. And so what happens is if he beats that thing up real good, beat that thing up, and now all of a sudden, all of your hormones believe that he feels a certain way, okay? Now that's a form of control. Same thing with women. Same thing with women. Women say, I'm going to give him this thing, I'm going to make him feel like I'm going to do things to him no other woman has ever done. And if you believe that, I got some swampland to sell you to. Okay, some swampland on the beach. You feel me? But the truth of the matter is people use good sex to control a person. If I give him good sex, I can determine the outcome, what he's going to be doing, who he's going to be with, if he's not with me. And so now you think that good sex can control a person. I often say, my man was telling me, he says, I think I'm in love. I said, no, you're not in love. You pussy whip. You're not in love. You're a pussy whip. And what happens is I said, take the sex out of the mix and let's see, for any length of time, and let's see how you feel about it now. I said, that's why I say, listen, to women, get emotionally and mentally connected before you get physically connected. But you feel like if I give my body to him, I get physically connected, and then I'll get emotionally, mentally connected. That ain't the way men work. That ain't the way we think. We don't think like that. Where a man can love you and go hit somebody else the same day. What it is it's a primal thing with men. Now, what I'm saying is if you cannot get the mental and emotional connection, and you think that you're going to get it through the physical connection, that would be no. That would be no. So, what I'm saying, they use sex to control people. Number 5. Oh, this good. This good right here. This is good, Ken. I ain't got but a couple more minutes. Number 5. A women control men is she will act like she's doing something for you. She will make it seem like I'm doing something for you. Now, let me give you an example of this. So, I know of a case where a guy was like, man, she's always late. Like, we go on a date, she's always late. And then she told me, well, I was just trying to make myself beautiful for you. No, you weren't. You were late because you're late. You're late because you have no deference for time. You're late because you don't honor time, not because you were doing it for me. And the way women many times try to control a man is because what they'll do is act like what I'm doing it for you. And then the law of reciprocity is supposed to kick in. When I do something for you, you're supposed to do something for me. You're supposed to give me leniency. You're supposed to give me, all of these things. And I'm like, yo, you're getting played, dude. You're getting played because whenever a woman feels like, and that's why my man I was talking about. So as long as he was down and out living with his sister, okay, the lady felt okay. She felt good because she could do things for him or whatever because he was down on his luck. But the truth is, once he became independent, she no longer represented the need in his life or that particular thing in his life. And now she can't control him anymore. I'm just saying. And the last thing, ways that women control men is this. They will guilt you into doing something. They will guilt you into doing something. I sacrificed this for you. I sacrificed our family for you. I sacrificed not going to school for you. I sacrificed this. You know what? You went out with your friends. Now I should be able to go with my girls to the beach. What? That's fine, but it shouldn't be about that. It should be about, let's give. If you want to go to the beach, don't try to guilt me into letting you go to the beach. But not because you guilt me into it. That's a form of control. If you're ever with anybody who attempts to guilt you into stuff, doing stuff, or feeling guilty about your own behavior, that's a form of control. Listen, look for it. If you're doing this, you may not even be doing it consciously. It might be unconsciously. But if you're trying to control someone, y'all, stop it. Because what did I say at the beginning? The person's going to do one or two things. Ultimately, the man's going to do one or two things. He's going to understand. He may not know what it is, but he feels different. He's going to either run from you, withdraw from you, and ultimately resent you. That's my time. I'm Ken Canion, the host of Love, Lust, and Lies. All right, y'all. Remember this. Every journey starts with one step. Take that journey today. I'm